I started blowing glass in 2005. That's the first year I got a propane oxygen torch, and it completely changed my life because I could melt glass considerably faster than before when I had just a propane torch. And I've always enjoyed doing art. When I was a teenager, I used to draw a lot, and before that, just always into crafts, always into crafts projects, artistic ventures, but in 2005, when I was 18 years old, that was the first year I ever got a propane and oxygen torch, and it blew me away because now I had this medium called glass that I could melt with fire. And I guess the real turning point was when I started a business, but that wasn't until 2012. So 2005, I'm 17 and about to be 18, and I got myself a torch, and it was a little Carlisle Mini CC. And today in 2025, I like to do it as not just a hobby, but I buy and I resell used torches. I set them up, I make little beginner kits, because ever since I found this, it was just the most magical thing that I could think of that I would want to do for a living, for just something that I'm going to do for the rest of my life, as long as I'm not dead or completely incapacitated or go blind or something. I'm gonna blow glass as long as I can make things with my hands. I chose to make pipes and bongs because, well, I smoke cannabis, and ever since that's become legal in the state I'm in, I can use cannabis recreationally, legally, and that's a big turning point. But the glass blowing, back to the glass, it's about creation. It's about making something with your hands, and it's the feeling that I get when I'm giving that piece to somebody or a new customer. That just the feeling I get when they look at that, and it's like their favorite fucking piece. They're like just blown the fuck away, just like I am. And they say, it becomes their favorite thing, and I've done this thousands of times now because I've been doing this for 20 years now, and it's just been an amazing experience. It's been ups and downs, of course. In 2010, I guess I got divorced, and that was partly because I blew glass and didn't really have a partner that supported that. So that was a real upset. But I persisted, and I, along with all the odd jobs, I've always just made glass. And so I started my company, Crazy Glass, in 2012. I hired on my friend Zildjian, rest in peace, and my twin brother Philip to work alongside me. This was during the dab wave, and it just felt like anyone could make it because, we were hustling, but it just felt like shops, and just, there wasn't really like this modern dispensary like we have them now, but smoke shops were just buying, and you could just, even someone like me, come, a nobody glassblower, could sell my, rigs, little dab rigs, and for good money. Shows like Champs, American Glass Expo, and Glass Vegas, they really brought legitimacy to this world of pipers and bong makers, made them into celebrities, and that was just a really, really cool wave. And so I'm running my business from 2012, and I ran it pretty much all the way into the ground the first time. I met my baby's mother, Maria, rest in peace, and I started embracing bad habits like drinking, smoking too much weed, and just I thought the party was just constant, or like the music would never stop, and I'd always be able to make that really, really good money. But in 2018, the music really stopped for me, and I was, living in my car, homeless, and taking odd construction jobs just to make ends meet. And it wasn't because I wasn't making money on glassblowing, because I was. It was because of how I was spending that money. It wasn't until 2020, after working a few odd construction jobs, I sent an email to Jason Harris of Jerome Baker Designs, and the exact email, I can't tell you exactly what I said in the email, but just something to the nature of, I've always looked up to your company, and I'd really love an opportunity to work with you guys. He got back to me within a few days, and that was really cool, because then I got the chance to go to Las Vegas, Nevada, and the other job that I was applying for was to go be a dump truck driver. So I'm really grateful that Jason reached out to me and said come give it a trial week. I went and did my trial week, and he wanted me back for another week. So, and then I was there for almost 3 years. In 2021, my baby's mother passed away, which was probably the hardest thing that I've ever had to deal with. Was for the first time in my entire life, I really, really, truly knew what it was like to be a single father and having to raise a daughter all by myself. And that was just really, really difficult, a really, really difficult time in my life, and I was just overcome by grief almost every single day. But I kept showing up to work and learning station by station every single one of these positions at this company, Jerome Baker, because I guess I knew in the back of my mind that it wouldn't last forever. And so what I wanted to do was I wanted to learn as much as I possibly could from them. So I worked on the lathe for about a year, learning how to blow the bongs, make the mouthpieces, the tops they call them. And I had a lot of good, inspiring faces there that helped me make these pieces. They taught me almost everything they know. Alongside them, I got to work with some of the most iconic names in the industry. I got to make the Cottonmouth Kings bongs. I got to make Tommy Chong's bongs. Loads and loads of dispensaries. We were the celebrity bong company. And Jason Harris, he put me on, took me under his wing, and I got to make bongs until late 2022, when really the bottom kind of fell out. I got into a fight with my landlord there, and so we no longer had a place to stay in Vegas. So we moved back to New Mexico in 2022, and I got a job as a sheet metal foreman. And that's just been the real turning point, because back in 2007 until about 2011, I was a sheet metal worker, going through the union, going to college for that. And but glass blowing is sheet metal work isn't glass blowing. Sheet metal work just pays the bills. So we fast forward to 2022, and now I'm doing sheet metal, and I got to be a foreman, doing fabrication, which is really, really cool too, because in my downtime I was able to make a considerable amount of glass tools, and I sell them on eBay alongside the used glass blowing torches that I buy. I've made bench rollers, you know, tool holders, hot boxes, like a little kiln alternative. I've made loads and loads of stuff until 2024, when I quit that company and I started here at a new sheet metal company because they give me a little bit more freedom, more money, and I get to explore glass blowing as a hobby instead of just the hustle culture of it, of making as many bongs as you can, as many pipes as you can, as many rigs. If you all have been there, you know exactly what I'm talking about and how stressful it is to try to make a living doing that, especially when, you know, you're on child support and you're, you know, collecting on food stamps just so that you can survive another month. That's just no way to live. So with economic shifts and the downturn in the economy, it's not exactly like glass is selling like it used to. I mean, in the 2010s, we created this massive bubble called heady glass, and pieces were selling upwards of like $40,000. But today, in 2025, those same pieces are selling for about, you know, $4,000 or $5,000. So I mean, there's the reality of what this glass is worth versus what the hype market did to it. It was the concentrate, this new dab wave, and just over speculative people creating this heady bubble because, like, someone like Tommy Chong signs a bong, it doesn't make it worth, you know, $15,000, you know, and then reality sets in. So I got this job as a sheet metal worker because I went to school for it, and I'm able to make a really, really good living at it, so that when opportunities come up, like a glass blowing torch, a lathe, a kiln, anything I want, I can just buy it. I'm not terribly concerned about the price of it anymore. I just get it because I want it, and glass blowing is my unlimited budget. So I guess that's where I see myself for now. The reason I'm doing this YouTube video is so that I can look back at this in 10 years' time, and I can see where it's grown, what the community has done, and I can check out, like, you know, who my followers are, who my subscribers are. If you're still here listening to me on this camera, why don't you drop a comment in the bottom and let me know where you're at. Let me know where you blow glass from, or give me a little summary of your beginning, the year you started. You know, just let me know, because I do want to know. Sometimes I feel like I'm just shouting into the void here. That's YouTube, and it would be really, really cool if the community could, you know, reach out and say just a quick hello and wherever you started. So if you liked this and that we had, just let me know. Put it in the comments. You could also like the video. That would really help the channel. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, you should subscribe to this channel, because I noticed that most of my watchers aren't subscribed. But to the 36 people that are, you know, thank you. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. And we're going to put out videos like this quite often. So, you know, if that bothers you, then unsubscribe and we'll catch you on the flip side. But if you want to remain and stay a part of this community, we're gonna build up our mindset. We're gonna build up our mindset like we build muscles, because we talk about a lot more than just glass blowing on this channel. We do more than that. This is going to be a community of hardworking men. This is going to be a community of hardworking women, and I'm looking forward to building this with you. So Later.